What's going on, everyone? It's Ahmed, and today I apologize. I'm actually away from my computer and my normal setup, so just doing some traveling right now. But just wanted to touch on something that's controversial because unfortunately, for all of us who kind of missed this ride, Bitcoin has—I shouldn't say unfortunately, just because I'm not invested in it, shouldn't be unfortunate for those who have invested. But again, we've seen Bitcoin surge. So articles like this saying these pretty big analysts, Wall Street analysts, who are saying Bitcoin should be worth $400,000. Again, CNN always talking about Bitcoin soars past 33,000. Just today they mentioned this in an article. And last but not least, I just kind of want to touch on the Bitcoin chart. So again, for anyone who doesn't know what Bitcoin is, just go do your own research. I'm not going to spend time talking about what Bitcoin is because there's thousands of videos on YouTube. There's articles talking about how, decentralized currency is the future. So again, if you want to look into it, please do so. But what I want to kind of touch on is the trends that we've been seeing. Again, of course, I'm not a stock or cryptocurrency analyst, or I'm not a financial advisor. My discourses are always in my comment section, but again, or my description. But looking at cryptocurrency's movement currently. So, what we saw back in the end of 2017, so my friends and I kind of looked into Bitcoin a little bit because we are like, oh, this is kind of cool. Again, this was when I was in college, didn't have much money to spend on this kind of thing, but I decided to invest in it. Like pretty much at the end of the year, right before the initial surge. So what we saw was, again, Bitcoin was kind of sitting around this $1,000 range ish, and it went up about 19 times its price all the way up. It had a run up to, again, about it was $20,000 at its peak at the top. And I'm using Coin Market Cap. So again, if you want to ever look at cryptocurrencies and prices, you can just visit this website. But again, we saw it kind of peak up way up top at about 19,000, touched 20, then it came crashing down at the beginning of the year of 2018. So, and ever since then, it really hasn't had much of a recovery until 2020. So if we look at the last year chart, we can see again Bitcoin was kind of sitting at eight, nine, $10,000. So again, never crashed to zero or anything dramatic like that, but we did see it in the $3,000 range earlier this year, right? With the economic crisis, the pandemic, everything going under lockdown, we did see it kind of fall back down. But again, ever since then, because all this news coming around it and good sentiment, it's creating this increase in price and this surge in Bitcoin all over again. It looks like an almost mirror image of what we saw back in 2017. Now, a lot of people are saying it broke through the resistance. That $20,000 was a very strong resistance point. And we did see that here. Right when it touched around there, we did see a little bit of a crash, but then it kind of went back up and up and up, and it's still going up and up. And even the previous week, we can see, it's went up, God, just a substantial amount being at almost it did touch 33,000 today. Right now this live price here shows 32,445. Now, so why do I bring this up? What do I think about Bitcoin? Again, I'm not a financial advisor by any means, but I think when it comes to cryptocurrency in general, we don't know the future. We don't know if they're ever going to be an actual form of currency for people to use. Currently, people are using them, here and there. We're seeing a lot more adoption, yes, but not to the point where I would comfortably say I can put money into this, knowing that when I retire in 40 or so years, my money will grow in Bitcoin. Now, does that mean that it's not? Absolutely not. These articles could be true. Bitcoin can hit $400,000. Right now, its market cap, it's at $680 billion. So, or 602 billion. So that's equivalent to Tesla as a whole space. Just giving you guys just an analogy. But again, with Bitcoin, what do I think? The next 10 years, it could really see a run up in price. I could see it going to the God, I can't even really say, but it could really just skyrocket in price because it doesn't have a value. It's not something that is valuable. But at the same time, with that same token, I could see it go all the way down to where we saw it after the crash in 2017, 2018, $3,000. So, what does that make it? Very volatile? Yes. Very risky? Yes. But a lot of potential? Yes. So, again, invest at your own risk. But for me, what I personally think I'm going to start doing is I'm hoping to see a little bit of a pullback and potentially start putting some money in just to have the fun of, hey, I do own some Bitcoin, even if it's a fractional of a fraction of a share, but still having some, because if it ever does go to the $400,000 range, I don't want to be that person. Back in 2005, 2006, said, dang, I should have bought Bitcoin. Because back then, if you bought 1,000 Bitcoins, it was a few dollars. So now, what are you looking at those people, right? So we don't follow that same trend of I wish, I wish, I wish. Nor should you be that person that's like, oh man, it's skyrocketing, it's gonna keep skyrocketing, so I need to put in all my money. No, 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 no. Put in an amount you're willing to lose, of course, for the fun of it. And if you do believe in cryptocurrency, if you do believe in a decentralized currency that's, something that could be used by every single country, every single city in the entire world, then look into Bitcoin. Again, there is potential for it. A lot of governments, a lot of people are stepping in and looking at potentially using Bitcoin or other forms of cryptocurrency. Look at China. They banned Bitcoin completely, but they decided they're toying with the idea of creating their own cryptocurrency for their economy and their market. So there is potential. There's a lot of good sentiments around the cryptocurrencies so far through the end of 2020, beginning of 2021. But again, don't chase like I always tell you guys, but look into it, do your research. And again, it's very easy to trade. You can use the brokerages that you use for your normal stocks. Webull, Robinhood, you can easily invest in these companies if you're interested. So again, do your research, look into it, and if you are interested, go ahead and buy some. Why not? Diversify your portfolio. But again, understanding the risks that come with it is just as important as investing in it. So again, everyone, thank you all for tuning in. My apologies for not showing my face. Just on some travels, as I mentioned, but I'll be back home tomorrow for our normal scheduled videos. And until then, keep investing.